Hello everyone and Assalamualaikum. My name is Dayanku Nur Afikah binti Awangku Zulmasdi.
My name is Nur Farina Natasha binti Syahifuddin.
And I am Rahana Anikah binti Abdul Rauf.
My name is Siti Nuriwana Izzati binti Amdan. We are students from BA118C and today we will be presenting about unemployment in Indonesia.
So, what is unemployment? Unemployment refers to people that are jobless and actively seeking for work but are unable to find it. This group includes those who are in labor force but do not have suitable employment. Unemployment is a crucial economic indicator since it illustrates employees' ability or inability to obtain meaningful job and contribute to the economic production of the economy. This does not include persons who quit the employment for other reasons, such as retirement, further education, or disability. There are two categories of unemployment. The first one is voluntary. It happens when a person freely left his or her previous job in search of a new one. Next is involuntary. It happens when a person has been fired or laid off and must now seek a new job. Here I insert the formula to measure the unemployment. It is determined by dividing the number of unemployed individuals by the total number of people in the labor force.
Indonesia is a nation in Southeast Asia situated between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. It is an archipelago of 17,508 islands, some of which border Timor-Leste, Malaysia, and Papua New Guinea, and it is strategically located along a major marine route. The governance system is a republic, with the president serving as both chief of state and head of government. Indonesia is a mixed economic system that combines various levels of individual freedom with centralized economic planning and government regulations. Indonesia belongs to the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation known as APEC and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations known as ASEAN Asians. The population of Indonesia is comparable to 3.51% of the total world population and ranks number 4 in the list of countries and dependencies by the population. According to the most recent United Nations data, the current population of Indonesia is almost up to 278 million people. In terms of the geographical area, Indonesia is a massive archipelagic country that stretches 5,120 kilometers east to west and 1,760 north to south. It also consists of 13,667 islands, of which only 6,000 are inhabited. With the inclusion of the surrounding water regions, Indonesia's widely recognized territory, land, and sea now totals almost 5 million square kilometers. Relating to their economics, since the mid-20th century, Indonesia has played a minor part in the global economy, and its significance has been far less than its size, resources, and geographical location would suggest. The nation is a major crude petroleum and natural gas exporter. Furthermore, the nation is also a major provider of rubber, coffee, cocoa, and palm oil, as well as a variety of other commodities such as sugar, tea, tobacco, copra, and spices. Indonesia has faced a continuously rising unemployment rate throughout the past years. According to the latest data from World Bank data, the unemployment rate in Indonesia was at approximately 4.11% in 2020, which has become low compared to the past years. More than a decade of microeconomic progress has resulted in a steady decline in Indonesia's unemployment rate.
There are several types of unemployment. First, it is because of lack of demand, friction, structure, and voluntary unemployment. The first unemployment is calling for a reduction in unemployment. This is leading cause of unemployment which occurs most frequently during economic downturns. When demand for a company's product or service falls, it is likely that production will fall as well. So there is no need to keep a large workforce on staff or workers. So next, another type of unemployment is frictional unemployment. So, what is frictional unemployment? Frictional unemployment is a type of unemployment that happens when an employee looking for a new job or change their current job even when the economy is thought to be fully employed. This is a form of natural unemployment is still occurs or still happen. A worker who has recently quit or been fired and keep looking for a work in a non-recessionary market is a good illustration because it is usually caused by individuals looking for the best employment for their skill, and this is not a bad thing for them. Yeah, because everyone wants the best in their life. Of course, we are looking for a job that match with our skill. But we also know that we might not always lucky, but at least we try our best to get a job in order to have a more secure future. For example, like a student of office management after they graduate, yeah, of course, they are looking for a job that match with their course, but sometimes uh, we get a job that big different uh, from our course or skill. Like example, from a student from office management but end up being a teacher or a chef in their future. But it is okay as long as people wants to learn more to save their future. The third one is a structural unemployment. This unemployment occurs when we see a major shift in the company. Unemployment occurs because there is a change in the structure of an economy, that the skills of workers have been obsolete and no longer available with the job that required. So for the example is the typist jobs in office have been significantly reduced since the introduction of electronic printers. Despite the fact that typists are not lacking in skill, they are no longer be able to obtain the same job based on their existing skills. Lastly, is unpaid work. This is known as a voluntary unemployment when a worker leaves a job because it is no longer financially rewarding. For an example, a worker whose take home pay is less than his cost of living. So this is how unemployment occurs, because nowadays people are struggling with their economic situation that keeps on changing by time to time and not stable. With unpaid or a small amount of salary, for them will not change anything. So that's all is types of unemployment.
Causes of unemployment. Number 1, pandemic COVID-19. As we all know, COVID-19 makes it difficult to find work because people must stay at home. As a result of COVID-19, some Indonesians have lost their jobs, so that can increasing the unemployment. Although some of them did not lose their jobs, many workers will have to reduce their hours or accept a pay cut due to the COVID-19's economic impact. Number 2, technological advancement. No one can escape the absolute necessity of technology in our daily lives. It makes our life easier. So many companies require only a few workers because other workers' positions have been replaced by upgraded technology, such as machines, robots, and so on. Besides, it is more manageable and systematic with cheaper and more accurate work rather than humans, since they have to face various problems with the employee. But undeniable, the use of technology in the job can help in improving employee performance. Number 3, an imbalance in employment and labor. The number of workers grew daily. Due to the shortage of jobs, even undergraduates and master graduates will struggle to find work. The need to fill the vacancy of jobs grows faster than the vacancy available. Number 4, the company sets unrealistic expectations for prospective employees. As we all know, some companies require highly skilled workers and experience. They prefer workers with advanced skills to ensure success. Quite often, they do not hire anyone because they cannot find the right person for the job. This occurs when a company does not want to hire unskilled workers and does not need to train them extensively. Next is theories of unemployment. Number 1, high cost of production theory. Cost of production refers to the total cost incurred by a business when it manufactures a product or provides a service. These expenses encompass a wide range of charge. For example, manufacturers have manufacturing expenses tied to the raw materials and labor needed to generate the product. So, related to the point, when the cost of production for a specific quantity of a product increasing, which prompt the company to spend more. Besides, the cost for each labor is higher than the services of production. That is why, in order to save the cost, will have to lay off some employees in the business. Become the employer may not be able to pay their salaries due to reduced sales and unprofitable. Example issue in Indonesia, based on the article that I read, it's about ULBK here expects crude palm oil CPO weakness as the Indonesian plantation sector is hit by higher cost of production in 2022. What I understand it is because 1. Due to prolonged bad weather, which is dry impact. 2. Palm oil production is affected from 2021 as the results of the recovery from the previous situation will be longer than expected. 3. Fertilizer costs are expected to grow another 15% to 18% by 2021 due to supply problems, high demand, and increasing input costs. 4. Theft of fresh fruit bunch. 4. Theft of fresh fruit bunch (FFB) as a potential problem for the plantation industry, which may lead to the need for additional security costs, such as hiring security personnel or implementing electric fencing. The second theory is productivity theory. When we took a look at urban versus rural unemployment in Indonesia, then we can see that unemployment is significantly higher in the urban areas of the country compared to the rural areas. Focus on the agriculture sector economy in Indonesia. In rural areas, people working in the informal sector pose some risks since employees frequently earn lower and inconsistent salaries and have limited access to basic protection and services. Moreover, have a small farm size, topographical challenge, and others, so on. Another important thing is related to social perception, in which some old farmers do not want their children to be farmers with low income and narrow land ownership. As a result, there is a tendency that the youth to shift from the agricultural sector to the non-agricultural sector. Meanwhile, money flows in the informal sector are not taxed, and informal operations are not reflected in GDP, which is bad for employees and bad for the economy. So that many moves to urban areas are resulting in significant levels of seasonal because of the factors not even help them.
Next is the impacts of unemployment to society. The impacts of unemployment in Indonesia have escalated since the COVID-19 pandemic hit the world, as proven in articles, news outlets, and data provided. The personal and social costs of unemployment include several financial, personal, and economic hardship. The first one is income loss and poverty. Working is a human source of income, but with unemployment comes income loss. Income loss will raise many more problems such as poverty and debt. Without money, they will be poor as they have to spend money for daily necessities and will not have enough money to pay services on time that leads to debt. For example, house rent and telephone bills. Based on the 2020 article by Adrian Wal Ahlas, it was revealed that Statistik Indonesia, Badan Pusat Statistik, stated some 14.2% of the country's workforce have been affected by the pandemic. According to the BPS, 760,000 people are no longer considered as part of the workforce, which is the main reason on the growth of poverty in the Indonesian society. Next is housing stress. Unemployment can also bring negative impact to one's emotion. Examples of the emotion are boredom, low confidence, and self-esteem. Housing stress will naturally happen because of family tensions. The emotions that the jobless went through will gradually build up, resulting to breakdown that makes them release their anger to their family. It may be a serious problem if abuse is involved. Based on the same article by Adrian Wal Ahlas, up to 12.7 million people are expected to be unemployed by 2021. The increase of numbers is worrying because it brings higher chance of broken families being made and domestic violence to increase rapidly. The increase of crime relates closely to income loss and house stress because the emotional disturbance that comes from it will lead to serious actions. When the unemployed does not have enough money and is in a desperate situation, high chance they will have the urge to start stealing to survive. For example, robbery, pickpocketing, and snatching. Another example is dine and dash. It is a form of theft by fraud in which a person orders and consumes food and beverages from a restaurant with no intention of paying. All of the above is worrisome because people are brave to do such crime and the society will no longer be safe to live in. Finally, it's a negative impact to the economy. Statistics have shown that the government predicts that the unemployment rate will be between 7.7% and 9.1%. Unemployment causes income loss, which will reduce the consumer spending and will lower the profits for businesses. Business will lower the purchasing power of consumers by cutting their budget and workforce reduction, which is one of an economy's key drivers of growth. Furthermore, when people are unemployed, they cannot pay income taxes and the government's revenue will drop and the government will not be able to build infrastructures for the country's economic growth.
Now I'm going to present about solution of unemployment in Indonesia. So, aims to improve the quality of classroom learning. This is because with the right education, a person may easily find a job that is both permanent and secure. As we all know, issues like unemployment must be tackled to help society, like particularly young people who have completed their education. As a result, each country needs make a few modifications to reduce and overcome its unemployment problem. Opening or providing as many job opportunities as feasible is one of the options that can be used. People can locate and receive employments that are more in accordance with their interests and abilities because there are so many chance and types of occupation. Furthermore, the next stage is to diversify the economic sector. Since this will increase the number of potential job prospects, because the tasks may be shared with other workers, so the workers will not feel overburdened. The government, on the other hand, has the ability to send trade delegations abroad in order to lure more foreign capital to Indonesia. The delegation might use this strategy to demonstrate the benefits of investing in Indonesia if a foreign investor agreed to do so. This can demonstrate the importance of effort to introduce the country to the rest of the world. The next step is to raise the standard of instruction in the classroom. This is because with a proper education, one can easily obtain a permanent and more secure with their work. It is obvious that education is critical, particularly in the sphere of profession, because some of employment will be dependent on one's level of education. Even if one is inexperienced, as a result of the level of education, every business will be confident in hiring every employee since they must have the desire, commitment, and intelligence to use all of the knowledge, ideas, and formula in work. Furthermore, by providing certified training to anyone looking for work, this is because with certification training, like job seekers will find it more easier to get a work and will have a better chance of getting hired because they are already have experience with certified training. So meanwhile, it can train and mentor youngsters who have recently graduated from high school to become a great entrepreneurs without having to work with anyone. For example, they can train the youngest student that graduated from the high school to become a businessman or businesswoman. For more example, like in university, students can also provide like entrepreneurs, provide like make some banana tree and people like from out from the universities can also meet them at the university and see the banana tree that they are make. Finally, reducing the occurrence of COVID-19 cases in the workplace is also an effective technique that can address the problem of unemployment during the current COVID-19 pandemic season. During the current COVID-19 pandemic season, decreasing the occurrence of COVID-19 cases in the workplace is also an effective strategy for addressing the problem of unemployment. When hunting for work, job seekers might prioritize locations that do not have any concern with COVID-19 cases. Furthermore, it provides a safe and comfortable workplace for employees to execute tasks, allowing them to work for extended periods of time without becoming bored. Furthermore, the government must provide jobs that allow job seekers to receive crucial and relevant service. So I think that's all the solution of unemployment in Indonesia.
From what we can summarize from our case study, we can understand that unemployment refers to a situation in which a person is eager to work for a fixed income but is unable to find work. As we all know, unemployment is one of the most serious issues in a country like Indonesia. Here are some ways that can be done to reduce unemployment. First is increasing work opportunities, diversifying economic sectors, raising educational standards, providing job searchers with training courses, and so on. Unemployment is a major and pressing issue that must be addressed and eradicated from the country. The government should make labor possibilities available to young people who are willing to work. Furthermore, there should be more job chances in remote areas, and the system should provide opportunities for interviews. Even if they are not working, courses for motivated teenagers must be arranged. That's all from us. Thank you.
That is all from us today. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed our group presentation.